I grew up in the Midwest. I'm from the heartland. And so I asked my mom. I talked to my mom today on the phone, and I said, Mom, what do you think about Sarah Palin? And, my mom was born without the right to vote right here in America. And so for her sake and all women, myself, I take voting seriously. I said, well, what do you think about Sarah Palin? And she said, well, I think she's on the conservative side. And I said, yeah, she's pretty conservative. And what else do you think? And my mom said, well, even though she's a woman, she might be a woman, but she's not the one we want.
We are at a time in history where we are so anxious to have a woman be in the number 1 or number 2 position of our country that we seem to be almost willing to vote in anyone. Do we really want just anyone? We need to make sure we put in the right person.
I don't have anything against Sarah Palin, but I have a lot against a poor choice of an unqualified candidate, and also against using image over substance for a very important election. I was watching the local news the other night, and I saw a woman who said, she talks just like me. But what about the things that she hasn't said? What about the issues that she's missing? What about the parts of the puzzle that aren't getting filled in on the nightly news? We deserve more for America.
Sarah Palin is beyond conservative. Her views are very extreme, too extreme for the majority of Americans.
I don't have respect for people who say that they're a Christian but yet support hunting for sport. When I first saw Sarah Palin on TV, I was impressed, but as I learned about her and some of the things that she supported, I had a change of mind.
Teaching creationism in schools scares me, because any sort of denial of science, progress, and technology is only going to keep us down. I believe Sarah Palin's direction is the wrong direction.
Paesani, io volessi sapere, ma come fate a votare Sarah Palin? Cioè, quella è un poco pazza, cioè non si può fare. Cioè, dobbiamo capire che questo è un pochino troppo conservativo, è troppo. Allora, per favore, non votate Sarah Palin. Paesani, no Palin.
When women were raped under her leadership, they were forced to pay for their own rape kits. I couldn't believe that was true, yet it's true. This is something that she is okay with. She not only is okay with it, she believes this is appropriate. It's cruel. I can't, and I don't believe the majority of Americans share that view.
And why would a supposedly pro-woman, pro-family candidate, one who brags of her own ability to leap back and forth between the breast pump and a BlackBerry in a single bound, why would she, as governor of Alaska, use her line item veto in order to cut the funding for breast pumps for poor women in the state of Alaska? Why is it that she, as a mayor in Alaska, sought to ban books in the local library that were personally objectionable to her? How is that respecting the decisions of American families? Women know how to recognize hypocrisy when they see it, and I am not buying it, and I am not alone.
I'm a parent of a special needs child, and I can relate to Sarah Palin's pit bull with a lipstick comment. Myself and others in the special needs community have learned how to become a pit bull to secure what our children need. That she would be an advocate for special needs children is a quote from her. I find it disheartening then, as I correspond with parents in Alaska who have children with special needs, to find that their funding has been cut during the entire time she's been governor. And these parents have to leave the state to find the services that their children need. I've read Obama's book, and that is a man who understands my situation. When my son is ill, my whole world comes to a stop. And Obama understands the type of health insurance and the choices that I need. We can break the bank. We go through our savings, we sell our homes, and we still don't have access. We've had 8 years of a president who has been severely lacking in credentials. And the catastrophic economic and foreign relation results, we can't afford a future with that. And that is Sarah Palin.
Yeah, I was out of the country. On September 11th, you know, it was just another day. I chose to fly home. I was coming back to America. And you never want to be home more than when your country's under attack. I'll never forget seeing all of the headlines of the newspapers in Europe with America on the front page. And you could see there was this outpouring of support and empathy for America. We're more interconnected now than ever.
I keep seeing the same parallels build up that we saw before the Iraq War. I don't want to see my son and other children being aimed as military soldiers in a military life at Latin American countries.
You know, we talk about no end in sight to the Iraq War, to the Iran War, to the War on Terror. Now we have no end in sight to the financial meltdown. The last time we had a major election question in this country, the Supreme Court decided it. The Supreme Court decided that George Bush would be in office. There's a very good chance she would become president. McCain is one of the oldest people to run for president.
In the event, which has happened in my lifetime at the loss of John F. Kennedy, that the vice president actually became the president. And so I can think of nothing more scary than having Sarah Palin as our next president. I think we've been in rather tumultuous times, and I don't think that we have a lot of respect when it comes to the other members in the international community. I was a student of the 70s, and I thought it was a really exciting time. It was a time of empowerment where somebody could say, I can make a difference, I can do something about changing my future. I'm going to vote for Obama, and I personally am visualizing him as our next president because I think that he's the right choice.
I'd feel a lot better about the results of our elections if every eligible voter voted and if every vote cast was counted. So I hope we can all just work to make sure that happens, because the stakes are pretty high. I can't think of a time in our country's history when the stakes have been higher than they are right now.
I'm Jessie Chabot.
And I'm Glenda Drew. And we approve this message.
Let freedom ring. Let the white dove sing. Let the whole world know that today is a day of reckoning. Let the weak be strong. Let the right be wrong. Roll the stone away. Guilty pay. It's Independence Day.
I think if she is not elected vice president, I think one of her next jobs could be a spokesperson for the cigarette industry.
What do you want to see in your future?
He's a lying brat.